Wilderness Lodge opened in 1994 and is a deluxe resort at Walt Disney World. It's located in the Magic Kingdom Resort area and has a lot of great accommodations. From, of course, your standard rooms to even Disney Vacation Club, aka DVC options, with Copper Creek Villas and the Boulder Ridge Villas. This resort is a lot and has some really great theming. Let's go ahead and dive into all this resort has to offer and entails right now. Hey friends, welcome to Disney Pastor. I'm your host Tim. I talk all things Disney, which includes Walt Disney World. I'm going to be talking about the good, the average, and the bad of this resort based off my personal thoughts and opinions. I will also wrap up kind of with my overall thoughts and maybe some questions or things you should consider if this is a resort stay you want to make when making your way down to Walt Disney World. I'm going to kind of go over some of the basic overall things before we dive into this review, things to be aware of. That being said,
first I'd like to acquaint you with some important safety information.
This resort has a lot of different options, and what I mean by options, I mean by things to do. The first thing to note is that you have multiple dining options. Of course, your two biggest ones here are going to be Whispering Canyon Cafe and Artist Point. Both of these are sit-down styled restaurants. Artist Point is a character dining featuring characters from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You get to interact with Snow White, the Evil Queen, Grumpy, Dopey, and it is a pretty unique space to eat and enjoy. It is on the pricier side when Walt Disney World's site. It does have $3 signs, so keep that in mind. Whispering Canyon Cafe is actually just to the left of the lobby as soon as you enter through the doors. It is, of course, a family-style, all-you-care-to-enjoy meal. Each of the trays are around $40-ish. This is a really great and fun place to eat for you and your family and has really great atmosphere. This is one of my favorite places to eat on property, so keep that in mind. It is, again, a very kind of humor is a good thing to have, and also watch out for the ketchup. That's all I will say. The two other spots here to eat is going to be your quick service or your more quote-unquote fast food, but it's called quick service here at Walt Disney World. The first one is going to be Roaring Fork. This is your basic quick service restaurant here at Walt Disney World, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So you can get your Mickey waffles, you can get your Mickey bar, you can get whatever you need for your day, either before going to the parks or to end your time at night coming back from them. The last one is Geyser Point. It's located just off the shore of Bay Lake, which is where this resort kind of resides. It is a really cool restaurant that has some unique food offerings, including a bison burger, which is pretty delicious. Overall, this is a really solid spot. It is towards the back, so keep an eye out for Geyser Point. This, of course, does have a fitness center and spa area as well. It does have one merchandise location and does have two transportation options from, of course, the bus loop, which will take you to Epcot, Disney Springs, Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom. And of course, you also have the boats, which will take you to both the Magic Kingdom, as well as another boat to take you from Fort Wilderness, Contemporary Resort, and of course, wrapping your journey back up at Wilderness Lodge. So some pretty decent options there. With all the basic information out of the way, let's talk about the good, the average, and the bad of staying here at Wilderness Lodge. Let's talk about it.
Ooh, that's good.
One of the things I really enjoy about this resort is the theming. It's themed around the turn of the century national park services, hotels, and shacks and stations. It is really well themed and absolutely stunning. The rustic vibes both on the interior and exterior of the resort are nothing to shy at. Literally from the start of the entrance all the way to, of course, your parking lot, and of course into the resort itself, hallways, and even to the exterior of the resort, because for the most part it is kind of shoehorn shape. So you have the middle of the resort that is very lush, green, very kind of wildernessy. I mean, it is called Wilderness Lodge after all. And of course, it is all just themed very, very well. It is absolutely stunning from like I said, the entrance all the way to the boat docks. The other thing here is dining options. Like I mentioned, there are 4 dining options here at the resort, 2 quick services and 2 table service restaurants. Willow Spring Canyon Cafe is personally one of my favorite restaurants on Walt Disney World property, both in terms of value as well as the food itself. The food itself is delicious. The customer service by cast members is fantastic. It's seriously a great vibe. Ask about the ketchup. Did I tell you not to ask about the ketchup earlier? No, ask about the ketchup. I changed my mind. Trust me, you're gonna love it. But in all seriousness, this has some really good food, very comfort food style, and it is also, again, really solid value as well. The other thing here is the rooms. Now, these rooms have been recently remodeled within the last several years, with, of course, adding some very unique wildernessy touches. I absolutely love these rooms. Let's go ahead and actually dive into a little bit of a taste of what those rooms look like here and now. So we enter through the door here. We get greeted in the hallway here. Let me just close the door here. If we look over here, we have a full-length mirror. You get to see me. Hello. You also have, of course, some cabinets. Or not really cabinets, but closet space with extra pillow and blanket in case you need it. This opens up, safe steamer in case you need that. If we take a look over here, you have ice bucket, coffee stuff. Down here is a fridge, complete with Pepsis. That was my addition. But look over at the backsplash, you have Bambi right there, friend owl, really cool, nice detail. We go over into here, into the bathroom. Once again, here's me. You got your double sinks there, obviously, mirror on the side. I love this sort of backsplash. Let's go ahead and you can turn it off too. You can really see just kind of the detail in it. It's really cool. And of course, like I said, it can turn back on, kind of add a little extra light into here. Of course, you have your bathroom. Cool picture there of the totem pole. Soaps. Throne. Moving into, of course, the actual bedroom itself, we have this really cool wilderness backsplash here. You have some side tables for camp. You have the middle table here, which has a Hey Disney on it. This is a brand new thing that Disney has added to it. Of course, you have your USB plugins and outlets. Bed there. You also have lights on either, not just either side of the bed, but also reading lights on each side. You have cabins on that side. You have camp on that side. Pretty cool there. One detail I really do love about this, though, is you have Chippendale right up here, and then turning it back around over to here, you have your TV. Of course, you have drawers. You have 2 chairs. Pretty unique mirror. And, of course, 2 tables there, one to pull out for your laptop. But one of the coolest things is we do have a balcony. Also, look at these design on there. It's pretty neat. We do have a balcony because this is a deluxe resort. Get our own private spot here with 2 chairs. And just look at the view that we get to look at. We get to look out here into the wilderness vibe. Of course, you can see the pools over there, and further past that is Bay Lake, and further past that is Fort Wilderness. And overall, it is just honestly a really nice view. So as you can see, the rooms are absolutely amazing. I love the amount of storage that they have, and also just the fun wilderness touches that they have. I think the backsplash here is really, really cool. And while yes, it is not a specific Disney IP tied to it, there are some few Disney touches from Bambi to Chip and Dale, which I firmly appreciate and glad they implemented into these rooms. One of my absolute favorite things about this resort, though, and this goes along with the theming, is going to be the lobby. Oh my goodness, it is stunning. The second you walk into the Wilderness Lodge lobby, your mind is going to be blown. It is tall, it is expansive, it is absolutely gorgeous. You have two 55-foot tall totem poles right in the middle of the lobby. Plus, on top of that, one of the coolest things is, of course, from the top of the bottom floor, excuse me, all the way to the top is, of course, your chimney, which, by the way, little fun fact, is themed after the sedimentary formations of the Grand Canyon, which is really, really cool. A very nice Disney touch. Even on top of that, if you go a little bit further into the lobby itself, you have kind of a hot springs in the middle of the resort, which that takes that stream all the way from where you see it at the hot springs all the way over into by the pool, which will then lead over into the geyser. Oh, by the way, did I mention there's a geyser here? It's absolutely awesome. It goes off every hour on the 10th minute. So instead of like a 12 o'clock time frame, it's a 12:10 or 12:15 time frame, somewhere around there. It's really neat. I suggest you check it out if you do have the chance, and if you even are visiting, you can still check it out as well. One of the other things I love about this resort is the resort merchandise. Of course, it does have one merchandise location, and it does have a lot of your basic things. Of course, your drinks, sunscreen, any quick necessities, as well as your basic Disney merch from pins to Mickey ears, hats, t-shirts, but it even has its own Wilderness Lodge stuff, and it's really, really cool, from blankets to a totem pole, like the one I have right over here, by the way. It has some really solid merchandise, and just really, really cool as well.
Something good, something bad, a bit of both.
I'm gonna have to go transportation here. Now, I would say here, great transportation or good transportation, you're going to have multiple options for everything. Now, one thing I do appreciate and I do really like about Wilderness Lodge is the fact that you can take a boat to the Magic Kingdom. That is a pretty cool way to get over to, of course, the most busiest park in almost the entire world, and one of the most visited parks as well. So it is a really cool option there. You also do have, of course, like I mentioned earlier, transportation that takes you to the Contemporary and Fort Wilderness. So that is pretty neat. That is something you rarely ever get at resorts. The downside here for me is when it comes to everything else. Unless you have your car with you or some other form of transportation and you decide to take a minivan or Uber, you're going to be using the bus. And the bus isn't a terrible option to get around Walt Disney World. It's just definitely not the preferred option to get around Walt Disney World. So if you want to go to Epcot, Disney Springs, Blizzard Beach, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, or Typhoon Lagoon, you're going to have to use the bus. And it's a little unfortunate. And so because of that, it's an okay thing. It's, you know, there's some pros to the transportation from Wilderness Lodge, but there definitely is, mainly with the buses, some cons of getting around. Before I dive into the bad of this resort, question of the day is this. Do you plan on staying here? Have you stayed here? Let me know down in the comments below, and we'll chat about it down below. See you there.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
Wrapping this up and tying it with a bow here, the biggest thing, and that's, I would say, with every deluxe resort, is going to be the cost. On average, this resort can get up to $700, even sometimes $800, depending on the room. I say that very loosely. Now, of course, granted, compared to some of the other deluxe resorts around Walt Disney World, especially those in the recent vicinity of the Magic Kingdom resort area, this is going to be kind of the middle tier. I, of course, did this back in March. There was an annual pass discount. I paid around $432 a night, which I know for a lot of people that is expensive, and I completely agree. It is a very expensive resort to stay at, but it depends if you want those extra amenities and some extra things about staying at a deluxe resort, which I guess we probably should cover now, shall we? With staying at a Walt Disney Resort Hotel, you are able to get a half-hour early entry to any of the Walt Disney World parks. That extra half hour can help you to get in line for Rise of the Resistance, or of course, even riding a few rides at the Magic Kingdom. It can be pretty helpful. The other thing is, with a deluxe resort, on Wednesdays and I believe Mondays, you get extra magic hours. What this entails is that on Wednesdays, extra magic hours are from the time the park closes to about 1 a.m. at the Magic Kingdom, exclusively on Wednesdays. And then on Mondays, you have Epcot, which is open for an extra couple of hours. So when the park closes at around 9, you get up to 11 p.m. to be at Epcot. And even you get a chance to, for both parks, currently have the chance to add another virtual queue, so you could potentially ride Tron once again or Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind once again. Of course, as of the recording of this video, virtual queues may have changed since then. But if you are staying at a deluxe resort, that queue time is at 6 p.m. And because these are deluxe resorts, you have those options there. At the same time, these resorts will have a balcony to them as well. And of course, you do have a little bit better in terms of transportation options at deluxe resorts compared to some of the other ones. Okay, with all of that resort amenities stuff out of the way, still it depends on what you're looking for. The cost can definitely be high, but if this is a place you want to stay at and a price you think is somewhat worth it, ultimately, that's up to you.
And so our journey comes to an end.
I love this resort, whether I'm just staying here, which I did a few months ago, or of course, having the chance to just walk around this resort is a treat for me. This is, in my opinion, the best resort on Walt Disney World property, in the combination of theming, options to eat, and decorations, and just the vibe of this resort is absolutely fantastic. I love it. It also is really cool because of the fact that this is a place, while yes, you know it's on Walt Disney World property, it can feel like, in many cases, you're not at Walt Disney World and you're somewhere completely different, which is unique compared to a lot of the other resorts here at Walt Disney World. Price can be an issue, so keep an eye out for deals, or of course use a travel agent in looking to find a space for you to, of course, stay here if this is a spot you want to choose. Now, for me personally, if you are a Walt Disney World enthusiast and you're trying to knock out every single resort, you're going to end up staying here. If this vibe of wildernessy and the price doesn't seem too bad for you, go ahead and do that. However, if you're here for a, I'd say, once in a lifetime trip and you aren't really going to be spending too much time at the resort or not even have the resort day, I would not recommend staying here. I would say if you are going to have a once in a lifetime trip and you are going to have a resort day, this might be something in consideration just to really soak in all the awesomeness that is Wilderness Lodge. But ultimately that is up to you. And of course, keeping in mind your budget as well. Don't break the bank when trying to go to Disney. It's okay. You can find other ways to stay at different places. That's why they have several different tiers here at Walt Disney World. But again, based off, of course, all the things laid out and based off the things on your budget, keep in mind where you want to stay. Ultimately, it's up to you. Overall, this resort, I definitely have to say, is a S tier stay. This is definitely one to be on the lookout for. This is something I enjoy all the time. And, you know, I love staying here, and hopefully at some point I'll get to stay over at Copper Creek and Boulder Ridge, and we'll have reviews for those in the future. But until then, Wilderness Lodge is awesome, and I love my time here. That being said, join me down in the comments below. Let's talk all things Wilderness Lodge, whether you like it, whether you want to stay here, whether you have more questions, I don't know, whatever that is, join me down in the comments below. If you're looking at booking your Walt Disney World vacation, I'm not the guy to help, I'm sorry, but there are plenty of travel agents around that you can use. Seriously, take advantage of them. I'm not sponsored by any of them, but seriously, take advantage of using some travel agents. They're going to help you take the stress out of planning a Disney vacation, and they get to have fun planning it for you. That being said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them down below. I'll do my best to help you out. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. Helps me know what you like, what you don't like. And if you're new around here, I want to say a special welcome to you. I'm so glad you took time out of your day as we talk Wilderness Lodge together. Well, I talked, you listened, but that's besides the point. What is the point, though, is if you're interested, be sure to subscribe down below and hit the bell to be notified for more videos just like this one. And I will see you all in the next video. Have a great day. Goodbye, everybody.